For booking information for Judas Priest, please contact Russell Jarrett with 2SA Entertainment. You hear them bells, you hear that sound. It's time to do Tuesday Talk with Judas Priest. So tune in.
Hello, welcome. I'd like to thank all my blind believers and thank you guys for watching and tuning in. Sorry, I do apologize for being late. had a had some technical difficulties. I made it anyway. You know how y'all be running late for church and stuff, and work, and everything else that y'all go to. Oh, okay. So today I'm gonna start off with a series of different events or a series of different news head titles and the stories of each one. And I'm doing a little Judas Priest grading on them. Either I'm going to send them straight to hell or I'm going to send them straight to heaven. Okay? So let's start off with U.S. Bank. So if you and do me a favor when you get done watching this, go make sure you Google banking while black. Okay? So what happened was, imagine you got paid, you go to the bank, and you went to go cash your check, and then next thing you know, they're telling you, you people always come in here fake checks, and then they call the police on you, and then they went ahead, then they went ahead and put you in handcuffs, and called the police, put you in handcuffs, and walked you out and through the bank. You are handcuffed and everything, and it made a big scene. And so imagine that, right? Imagine that. And then the bank apologizes by saying, "Oh, we missed the mark on this one. Oh, our apologies." You know, and the title of the article was actually called "Banking While Black," and the bank was U.S. Bank, and that kind of brought back to memories for me because I remember and when I was in Washington, living in Washington, I was working three different jobs. And first time I went to go open an account, and I opened an account and deposit that check. And then the next following Friday, I came with another check for my other job and deposited it. And then the third check was direct deposit. So, but when I took that second check in, the teller kind of like looked at me weird and started acting weird. I'm like, oh, what's going on? Instead of her talking to me or asking me questions, she immediately ran to go get the bank manager and was telling the bank manager, I think she think I got a fraud check because she was like, "That's not the check. Who the check was from last week." So I was really upset. I was really mad because I was like, "Oh, so I only have one job." I'm like, "I have three jobs. This is just another job check, man." And it was crazy, right? So so many Black Americans going to the bank and can be a fraud experience. Something as simple as trying to cash checks to open a bank account can lead to suspicious employees. Correct, causing anxiety and fear, and sometimes even physical. You're right because I was really upset and hurt. Like, wow, here I am working, got three jobs, and then a person say, "Oh, she said this is not the check that you had last week. This is a different check." I was like, "Yeah, because that's from a different company." So I was really upset. But so for the story though, it was only $900. That's what kind of made me mad with it because it's $900. So you trying to say a black man can't go cash, can't get a check for $900? Like they can't work. That's so weird to me. You're right because I didn't report mine either. I was going to pull all my money out the bank. I was really upset about it. So I can only imagine how he felt because they didn't call to get that far to call the police because I had, told them I had three jobs and I had, pull up my three jobs and everything. So I handled it correctly because number one, I was black, so I can't raise my voice and be angry or anything like that. I had to handle it with care. So that was the thing, but it was crazy. So today I start off this segment by saying U.S. Bank. I'm sending you straight to hell. Yes. This is to U.S. Bank. Sending you straight to hell in the pits of fire for that BS that you did. And then next, I wanted to talk about. So, if you've been watching the news, Ethan Crumbly was trying to get, who was charged as an adult. He was trying to get out of juvenile. I mean, out of the real jail, and, and go to juvenile detention. And the Judge Nancy, District Judge Nancy, said no. His conduct can be a menace to other juveniles. I think his placement is appropriate, is what she said, and she did not allow him to go to juvenile court. So I'm going to sing her praises and send her to heaven. So this goes out to Judge Nancy for doing the right thing and not letting this guy off for what he did with the school shooting. So go ahead. All right. So that was great. And then we have his parents, James and Jennifer Crumley. They had their time in court today, and it was a couple of things that went on and happened. And for those of you when you watch these videos and go back and look at them, read the comments. I promise you, your life will be changed that day because you get to see some crazy people say stuff, and you get to see some people that's focusing on things that you wasn't even focused on. Like they was focusing on today about how the James and Jennifer Crumley they wore their mask, but their mask came to like right here, so their nose was out, and that disturbed a lot of people. Like, why they have their mask on? It's not right. And then the second thing is James' mouth to his wife. And they was like right next door. I had never seen so many people getting angry at something so small and minute, but you like, right. So it lets you know that they kind of like not feeling the parents either, and they don't want them to get off easy. They want them to throw the book at them. So that's what you felt, and that's what you got in that. But also keep a lookout. Don't forget we'll keep covering that case too because it's a couple of things that's coming up. So they're not gonna have their go over all the evidence and review the evidence and everything like that. They're doing that now, so they needed more time. So they're going to do it after New Year's in January. And they also say this because uh, it's also because the funerals were just happening this weekend and this week, so they want to make sure that all of that's passed over. Because if it's still on the news and people are still talking about it and things like that still happen, like the funeral and stuff like that, they feel that the client, not gonna get justice. It's gonna be hard to get a jury pool, all of that. And then finally, what they did is, so the attorneys are going did tell the judge that they're going to try to appeal the bail, so that they can get out, and so they want the bail lessened. So today I'm sending James and Jennifer Crumley and their attorneys straight to hell, right in the pits of hell. You deserve and get everything that you get because guess what? You bought the gun and you ignored all the signs. So we sending you straight to hell. And then next, so if you remember about the George Floyd incident in Minneapolis, we set off like national wide protests everywhere. So the guy Derek is the court filed Monday indicating that he was going to change his plea to plead guilty. And actually he's supposed to do that tomorrow, a federal civil right case. And so tomorrow in court he's going to change his plea to not guilty to guilty. Uh, I'm kind of conflicted on where I should put him at. Put him in hell. Uh, I was gonna put him in heaven for getting conscious. Guilt must have ate him up so bad that he like, oh my God, let me be a true man and live up to my responsibility that I did. So I was gonna put him in heaven, and then I pictured him going up to heaven. Then I pictured him saying, "No, we gonna send him straight to hell because he should have did that from the beginning." So Derek, we sending you straight to hell. And so that, but the police reform definitely started in Minneapolis because of the death of George Floyd. So that is definitely a good thing. They reformed the police department nationwide in 2020 because of that. And he already was sentenced to 22 and a half years in prison. Uh, can you say 22 years versus somebody's life being taken? Is it even? Does it equal out? No, but some form of justice is definitely better than none. And the justice system did decide that. So we're gonna keep you updated on that and let you know what's going on with it. Also, a couple of things about In the Mix podcast. So if you guys are looking to come on the show or to see us host or interview you or anything like that, you want to come on talk about a new invention or new business or anything, we're open. Please contact Russell Jared with 2SA Entertainment. That's his booking information at the bottom of the screen right there. So get in contact with him and then let it happen. And take a good look at these. These are our flyers. You should be seeing these around town in your mail, on your car, this, everywhere. This is gonna be us. This is how we're gonna get y'all to follow us, like and subscribe us on YouTube. Thank you guys for that again. Thank you guys for the followings that we have. Our numbers are going up. Thank you guys, because without you guys, we would be nothing. I mean, it's something me. I'm saying I could. I'll be talking to nobody. So thank you guys again, and if you have any questions or if you're going through anything, and you want us to talk about it or bring it up on one of our shows about something that you want to get off your chest or a question you want to ask, or if you be like, oh, I can't be the only one to think like this, go ahead and write to us and inbox us your question or write it on any of our videos that you see or any following us on In the Mix Podcast 4. We are on TikTok. We are on Instagram. We are on YouTube. We are on Facebook as In the Mix Podcast 4. We also have our separate pages, JV the Realist, Lady T, Manny Mr. Fresh, and Judas Priest. So we are available and we are everywhere for you to get in touch with us. And go ahead and give us those questions, let you know that you are not the only one thinking. Or get me wrong, or we might tell you crazy as hell and you don't even want to feel or think that way. So, but we will keep it real with you. So thank you guys. Tomorrow, don't forget my boy Jevy the Realist. He comes on at 8 o'clock, and he should be taking us somewhere, I guess, to make us angry. And then you have Mandy Fresh Thursday. Look out, he has a special guest on this Thursday, and it's going to be nice. The guest is definitely doing things in life, So that's going to be a very interesting interview, and you should watch because I will be watching too. And then we have all of us together this Friday, and we're going to be bringing you some good hot topics to talk about and see where y'all mindset is. If y'all feeling what we feeling, or we gonna go back and forth and say, nah, I don't agree. And like always, you guys have been blessed by Judas Priest. I do appreciate you guys for following and listening. To all my blind believers, continue